Willie Randolph, of course, is the new bench coach for the Orioles. He and Buck Showalter have been together for a number of years. Nevertheless, it is a job you have to grow in. We talked with Willie about that earlier today.
It's kind of a work in progress in a way. I mean, every year is different, as far as being with new managers. They like different things. I know Buck pretty well, and we talked a little bit about what, he needs from me. I said, listen, whatever you need. He said, listen, just be yourself. We bounce things off each other. A lot of what I do is just moving around to kind of reinforce our philosophy, things that we need to do. I'm a firm believer in that you don't always wait till the next day to correct mistakes on the field. So I have a way of communicating with my guys. As long as they don't have thin skin, we're going to deal with certain things that go on during the game and just try to get better at it. So, I move the infielders. That's my job defensively on the infielders, and just bounce things off Buck. If I talk too much, he just tell me to shut up. That's all.
My sense is those are probably exactly the words that are used.
Yes, that's right. Leave me alone, Willow.
Look, you obviously, it's got to be a huge advantage, the fact that you've been on the other end of this. So you were the one who was the manager at the time. That's really got to help.
Yeah, it does. It does, because you think alike in a lot of ways. Situations come up in the game where that okay, we're going to do certain things. But the thing is cool about Buck is that he kind of thinks outside the box a lot. And that's what I like about him. He always tweaks your interests. He makes you think a little bit about different things. And I know that's how he is. But yeah, it's always important to be a player two ahead of guys. I mean, Buck has a lot of things on his mind, so a lot of what I do is just reminding him of things that might come up, because sometimes he'll get caught thinking about something. All of a sudden, he'll go, "Oh man, I forgot that," or and I kind of lost sight of that. So I'll just kind of remind them that, hey, let's get ready for this, get ready for that, and that's kind of like having two minds, but mostly being ahead of things.
Do you find yourself doing things that when you were managing you might have forgotten, and so you go, "Whoa, I had trouble with that," so you get to Buck up?
Yeah, you do. I mean, one of my problems as a young manager was letting go plays, like letting things go, like something will happen on the field and it'll kind of, tick you off a little bit, and then you get preoccupied thinking about that, and all of a sudden you got to go into the next play. So things like that are important. You have to really kind of learn to, think in the moment, react to things and then let it go, that kind of thing or whatever. So, being a manager, I know what Buck's thinking and things that maybe will tie him up a little bit. So I try to, again, be ahead of the curve.
How tough is it to go from manager to a coach position?
It's difficult in some ways. I mean, but again, I've coached for 11, 13 years, so I kind of wear both hats. So for me, it's just a matter of just putting that hat on and just adjusting to what you're doing for the most part. And sometimes, like you just mentioned a minute ago, I will, think like a manager to the point where this is what I would do. But that's part of what my job is, to kind of say, listen, if I was managing, listen, let's try this, Buck, or let's hit and run here, or do whatever it might be. So I think I have an advantage in that I've had a lot of experience coaching, at third base, and that's another position where you think along with the manager a lot. So, I feel that I'm prepared to do all those things. And again, because Buck and I know each other and have a good rapport, it's pretty easy for the most part. But he is very much on top of everything. So my job is not maybe as significant as maybe some guys who have a lack of experience.